Hey guys, so I'm doing a video on 380s tonight, and the two that I'm comparing are very popular for pocket pistols. We're going to be talking about the Kahr cw380 as well as the Sig P238. Keep one thing in mind when you're watching this video. This one's about double the price as this one. So depending on what your price point is, what you're looking for, things are gonna vary. My buddy here that's actually recording the video for me and holding the camera, nice enough. This is his. This is mine. I almost bought this when he told me he was getting this. I'll tell you why I stayed away from it and why he decided to get it. Okay. For starters, both guns are unloaded. Okay. No mag in there. So, they're clear. Now, the Kahr, as you can see, it is smaller than the P238. So for a pocket pistol, it's going to fit in your pocket really nice. It's extremely tiny, even for somebody with small hands like myself. The P238, I have the rubber hoe grips on this, so it's a little thicker than it would be normally. But don't look at the grips, just look at this area here, and you can see what the difference is. It's a slight difference. The P238 is slightly thicker if you have the regular wood grips on it. I apologize. I took my wood grips off yesterday because I just ordered these and I actually love these grips. So I just got these in the mail yesterday, put them on, and I'm not planning on taking them off. So, but here's upside and downside of both guns. Okay, obviously the Sig, being a Sig, double the price, quality of the finish, and everything else is gonna be, I mean, exponentially higher. I just painted that right there by myself on my own, so that's not how it comes from the factory. But the Sig is a single action only. So that means, basically, you have to cock it and lock it, and then put the safety up. And then, as you can see, the trigger is very light. Okay? It's extremely light. It's kind of like, it feels like a hair trigger, although I know I've read reviews and seen reviews that say it's like 6 to 8 pounds, but it's ridiculously light. So that's that. The Sig, a lot of variations of this Sig will come from the factory with night sights installed. Okay, so that's something that I always liked. This happens to be the extended mag. So with the extended mag and the hoe grips, you have a nice grip on the gun. Without the hoe grips, you leave your pinky hanging. If it has the flush mag in there, your pinky does hang. But with the hoe grips on it, I gotta tell you, the recoil is like shooting a 22. It's might as well not be there. Now, the Kahr, I broke this gun in with my buddy that's actually recording this video right now, a couple weeks ago, and my initial thoughts were that I hated it worse than a 40. A small 40. Reason being, I'm a left-handed shooter, and it was killing my palm over here after about 15 or 20 shots. I mean, it was just ridiculously bad. Now, after putting about 250 rounds through it, it's not that bad. And with the flush mag, there you go. After the initial instance, we took it out again because my buddy had just gotten the extended mag with it. And with the extended mag, here's the thing. It's a little longer, but it doesn't kill your hand. I would prefer shooting this gun with the extended mag. If I was pocket carrying with you know, I was pocket carrying without a holster or anything like that, and that's just the way I carry, just to throw it in a pair of sweatpants or a pair of jeans, no holster, just throwing it in there, just going to, you know, grocery store or something. I think I would prefer this for up close and personal, just because it's a pocket carry, no hammer, the trigger is extremely long, and let me just make sure again that's not loaded, just not, and as you can see, look at how long I'm pulling that trigger, and it's still not clicking. Boom. But the trigger's long in every pull. Whereas the Sig, you can see the difference. My personal preference for the way that I carry, I usually carry in DeSantis Pocket Tuck, which is either appendix or over to my waist. I prefer this. But again, if I was looking to carry pocket, no holster, I'd go with the Striker Fire version of this. Up close and personal, the sights are perfectly good. This, the way the sights are, it is a little bit longer, it is a little bit bigger gun. It'll give you a little bit more distance, a little bit more accuracy on distance, whereas this is more, like I said, up close and personal. Both are great guns. I gotta say, if I didn't end up getting something else, I may have bought this. The only downside to this, that I see the major downside, is that the break-in period, it is a little bit rough on your hands. But other than that, it's a great gun.
You need about 300 rounds to get it reliable.
Yeah, and you need about 300 rounds to make it reliable. The one thing I will say, when you get it from the factory, break it down, but after you break it down, expect to have a little bit of a hard time putting it back together, because it's got a dual spring inside, so
it's still hard to rack back.
As you can see, we've put about 300 rounds through this.
Probably like 400 or 500 now after I shot it. So
yeah, so we've put a decent amount of rounds through it, but still, it's still a pain in the ass to take apart and everything else, and it's got a dual spring in there, so when you're trying to put it back together again, it's a pain in the ass. Whereas this one here, I'm taking it apart. 1, 2, 3, comes apart. Take the spring out. Boom. Single spring. Goes right back in very easily. Put it back on the frame. Boom. Hold it in place. And put the pin back in. And you're done. But with this one, it is a little bit more difficult, and I'll show you that in a second. This one, I just happened to get it in the wrong place, so let me get that in right. And there you go, that's it, it's done. Dude, when was the last time you took this thing apart?
I broke it apart like last time I shot it. So I did that.
So last week when we took it out?
Yeah, I broke it apart.
You broke it apart?
Yeah.
How hard was it to put the spring back in?
It took me about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes.
Okay, so therefore, I'm not going to take the spring out, but I will take the gun out just to show you. because he's telling me it took him 10 minutes. I don't want to spend 10 minutes here on the video. I love you guys, but, you know,
And part of
believe me, when you can't put it together, you know how it is. It's a pain in the ass. But I got to pull the trigger on this, take it apart, and
it's really is when you take out the spring, that's what it's hard. So it's hard to get that spring back in. So it's easy to take the slide off, but you don't want to take the recoil spring out because that's what happens is that the end of the spring will try to stick out through the front of the
it tries to stick out right there.
And you have to make sure it doesn't stick out when you put it together. So that's the hard part.
And putting it back together, I mean, it's similar. It's not the exact same. And as you can see, this is very easy to rack back and forth.
Oh yeah, it's definitely much more less force to wreck the.
Whereas this one is a lot harder. I'm gonna say I've put about a little bit over 1,000 rounds through the Sig, and I gotta say it was pretty much about the same at less than that. And the Kahr is a lot more difficult to take apart, put back together, clean.
Even to rack the slide, I would not.
Slide.
It's definitely not a gun for a woman unless she's like a bodybuilder or something. I mean,
it's a difficult gun to deal with.
But what it buys you is ultimate concealment. You can put it in your pocket, and nice long pull is what you want if you're pocket carrying. You do not want a short hair trigger. Yeah. You do not want a hammer in the pocket. Yeah,
if you're carrying in the pocket without a holster, you don't want a hammer. You don't want a short trigger.
Or you know they have pocket holsters too. You can put it in the pocket holster.
But again, like I said, this is no fluff. It is what it is. Like the video if you think it was helpful, and don't dislike it if you don't think it was helpful. Alright, have a good night.